United Kingdom, all distinguished dignitaries, RSS officials, invitees, and all my dear friends. I congratulate the Sustainability Foundation for organizing this conference on the agenda of clean energy and inviting me to share my perspective towards a sustainable society. We strongly believe that society should be livable, workable, and sustainable for all, with an important focus on ethics, ecology, and environment. I'm happy to know that the Sustainability Foundation has been established with a noble objective to mobilize people around the world about the challenges of global warming and climate change. I am happy to repeat the commitment made by our Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, at the COP26 conference at Glasgow about the goals to reduce carbon emission. Here, IDEA has come up with the 5-point key agenda, which termed as Panchamrit. In this roadmap, India has set a target to raise the non-fossil energy capacity to 500 gigawatt by 2030. India will fulfill 50% of its energy requirement through renewable energy sources by 2030, which is way ahead of the set target. India will reduce total projected carbon emission by 1 million tons between now and the year 2030. Further, India will also reduce the carbon intensity of its economy by less than 45%. And a major commitment is made to achieve the target of net zero emissions or a carbon neutral country by year 2070. It is now high time for all stakeholders to be aligned with global climate goals, and industries must evolve themselves for the climate revolution. This will ultimately bring transformative change to the economy and the way we do business. Today, India consumes 30% of the world's fossil fuels need. Our energy demand is heavily import dependent, that is 85% of the crude oil, 53% for gas, and 24% for the coal. We are spending over $160 billion on their imports, which accounts for 3% of the nation's GDP. Diesel is a very hazardous fuel for the environment of human health, and it emits about 71 kilograms of CO2 per gigajoules, which is the highest among all available fuel types. Coal reserves have significantly depleted over the years. We have limited coal deposits that will last for the next 50 to 60 years, considering the current rate of consumption. Coal is the most carbon-intensive fossil fuel. As per the recent study, 30% of global average temperature increase above pre-industrial levels is caused by coal use, and hence the gradual phasing out of a coal is necessary to limit the climate change issue. India emits 1.82 tons of CO2 per capita, a third of the world average and 1/10 of that eliminated by the USA. Over the last decade, India has made significant progress towards improving green energy access with increasing the integration of renewable energy. We have the world's fourth largest renewable energy capacity of 145 gigawatts, which makes 40% of our energy mix. And India is focusing on increase the manufacturing capacity and research and development activities for wide integration of renewable energy ecosystem. Transport fuel, which mainly derived from fossils, are a major source of pollution. They degrade the environment and ecology and must be replaced with clean and green fuels. We are working on mission mode to decarbonize the transport sector, and the government is committed to the adoption of import substitute, cost-effective, pollution-free, and indigenous fuels for the transport sector. The subject of alternative mobility is very close to my heart, and I would like to focus on electric mobility in this event. Nowadays, electric mobility is gaining good momentum in the country, and it will be an important tool to develop pollution-free transport. We do not need any artificial push for the sale of electric vehicles in India. The economics is so good that due to the low per kilometer cost, consumers would naturally shift towards buying EVs. The per kilometer cost of petrol-based vehicle is rupees 10 rupees per kilometer. For diesel, it is rupees 7 rupees per kilometer, and for electric, it is only 1 rupees per kilometer. The government intend to have an electric vehicle sales penetration of 30% for private cars, 70% for commercial cars, 40% for buses, and 80% for 2 and 3 wheelers by 2030. We must understand that electricity only contributes to around 70% of India's energy consumption, and we aim to increase the contribution of electricity, especially cheap, clean, and green electricity in our energy basket. There is no benefit again in producing coal-based electricity. Our focus is on the generation of electricity, primarily using renewable energy sources such as solar, tidal, wind, and biomass. The solar-based electric generation cost is very cheap and ensures a zero carbon emission cycle, and we can fulfill the domestic EV charging through a rooftop solar system. The average retail electricity tariff across the country range have high between rupees 7 to rupees 8 kilowatt per hour. The backup power with diesel generator sets also cost as high as rupees 20 per kilowatt hour, whereas the cost generation from solar is less than rupees 2 per kilowatt hour. The rooftop solar can solve the twin problem of high electricity cost and low grid reliability, and thereby saving cost and improving their competitiveness. The domestic charging through solar parks, solar PV cells, and rooftop solar system at malls, parking lots, commercial places, at homes would make EVs more adoptable and affordable. We can generate 81% of value of lithium-ion batteries in India. Further, I am personally pushing for research on alternative battery chemistries such as sodium-ion, zinc-ion, aluminum-ion batteries, which would further reduce the cost of EVs in India. Mass demand of electric vehicles, indigenous battery technology, and localization of EV parts will lead to the same capital cost in comparison to petrol and diesel versions today due to economic of scale. Central and state governments are promoting and supporting the EV ecosystem in the country through favorable policies, incentives, subsidies, tax exemptions, loan facilities on both supply and demand sides. About $8 million has been allocated for the domestic automobile and parts manufacturing industry through a production linked incentive PLI scheme. The government has allotted $3 billion for the manufacturing of advanced battery cells. EVs are much simpler device from manufacturing point of view, which is why traditional auto manufacturers are going to have through competition from startups and new entrants in the field. There is a huge domestic demand for small battery operated electric vehicles like electric bikes, electric autos, electric rickshaws, e-carts, e-bicycle in the domestic market. India has the potential to become an exporter of these variants of EVs. As per the recent report, electric two-wheeler and electric car sales in Indian country in the country witnessed a rise of 145% and 190% respectively compared to the during the pre-COVID period. This shows that the people now understand the benefit of EVs over petrol diesel run vehicles. The battery capacity, driving range, and charging time for EVs have also improved, which will further attract the buyers. We have also permitted retrofitment of the existing polluting vehicles into hybrid and fully electric vehicles. Regulations have been finalized and the demonstration of technology completed successfully. We intended to shift public transport modes and logistics on electricity. A potential pilot project is being planned to install an electric highway system on upcoming Delhi-Mumbai Expressway, which can electrify using abundant solar energy in the region. We also intended to use electric mobility as a last mile connectivity option using ropeway, funicular rails, and cable cars. In hilly regions, ropeway and cable car systems can be efficiently operated using hydropower. Recently, I have launched the first ever agriculture tractor run on bio-CNG and soon launching a tractor run on 100% electricity. The government has announced the National Hydrogen Mission to make India a hub for the production of export of green hydrogen. The green hydrogen is a zero carbon fuel and sustainable alternative to coal, oil and gas based energy sources, and it is fuel for the future. 70% of the green hydrogen production cost come from electricity cost. Hence, surplus electricity from renewable energy sources can improve the green hydrogen production economics. India has abundant land, a large coastline, and world-class clean energy project execution capabilities to become a global hub for green hydrogen and green hydrogen-derived products. With the development of low-cost electrolyzers and sustainable storage, transport, and dispensing mechanism, the cost of green hydrogen can come down below $1 per kg. Research is in full swing for hydrogen fuel cell technology, which can change the future of automotive industry in the world. Research performed by IIT Madras on hydrogen fuel cells is very interesting, where they are trying to generate energy from sea-based salt water and solar power. Municipal solid waste and sewage water can be potential source for green hydrogen in the cities. The research is underway to capture hydrogen from ethanol, biogas and biomethane. We are also exploring the prospects of green hydrogen as a fuel for railways, marine and aviation application by large. Ammonia is one of the safest hydrogen carriers and is heavily favored as green aviation and marine fuel. Methanol can be produced using green hydrogen, which can be used as an alternative clean fuel, and diesel run buses and major bus fuel fleets will be benefited from low-cost methanol and save huge capital expenditure on its conversion of a diesel bus. Both battery electric vehicle and fuel cell vehicle technologies are complementary to each other, and they are set to overtake fossil-run automotive by 2050. Recently, the government has announced a PLI scheme of $4.5 million for the auto industry to adopt battery-operated and hydrogen fuel cell EV technologies. Over time, the green hydrogen, the energy carrier, can replace some of our energy imports. The green hydrogen could be an ideal power source for energy-intensive industries like refining, steel, cement, fertilizer, mining, and industrial heating. Our government has recently rolled out the National Automobile Scrappage Policy to deal with old, unfit, polluting private and commercial vehicles with the inclusion of end-of-life criteria, and this step will bring a 25 to 30% reduction in vehicular air pollutant. The benefit of the scrapping policy is that it will provide recycled and low-cost raw material for automobile components such as aluminum, lithium, steel, and will further bring down the manufacturing cost of the vehicles. It will also help the auto industry in the current global semiconductor chip shortage. I am giving a special push for ethanol as a fuel. The biggest benefit is that it is the clean fuel with very low greenhouse gas emission. The additional income is directly diverted to the farmers, which empowers the rural and backward economy. The government has recently launched the E20 fuel program, which is an important step towards encouraging the use of bioethanol in 20 blend with petrol by 2025 in India. It is expected that with 100% use of 20% blend of bioethanol, India will be able to save $5 billion on the import of fossil fuels. Further, the use of ethanol blended petrol decreases emissions such as carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons and nitrogen oxides by 40 to 50%. We are taking inspiration from countries like Brazil, which have been using ethanol in their transport industry more than 60 years. They have a compulsory blend of 27% ethanol in petrol, which is highly commendable. According to a recent study in Brazil, hybrid flex engine using 100% ethanol emits 77% less greenhouse gas emission as compared to Euro 6 compliant IC engines, and we are working to bring this technology in India. I was recently given a presentation by the president of the Brazilian Institute of Bioenergy and Bioeconomy, and I was told that how hybrid engines or flex engine with a mix of petrol, flex and electric can drastically reduce the vehicular greenhouse gas emission. I am also have information about Brazil that they are using bioethanol 50% adding in aviation fuel. That can be also a great saving to Indian economy if we can implement this. We are in process and we will try to implement this. It is also going to reduce the pollution and our import bill. We are planning to introduce flex fuel vehicles soon, which allow the operation of the vehicles on 100% bioethanol or 100% petrol. And already the companies like Bajaj and TVS have manufactured two-wheeler bikes running on 100% bioethanol. The flex fuel engine technology is successfully incorporated in vehicle available in the countries like Brazil, Canada, and the USA. We can replace the IC engine at a nominal cost with a flex engine. Our Prime Minister has recently launched 300% ethanol pumps, and the Petroleum Ministry is now promoting the setting up a dispensing unit by private entities. We have allowed the production of ethanol from surplus and damaged food grains and as rice, corn, in addition to sugarcane juice, BAV and CAV molasses. This will give an additional income to our farmers. The bioethanol can also be sustainable fuel for aviation purpose. It can provide 80% saving on greenhouse gas emission and can be blended up to 50% with the conventional jet fuels without any modification. It has already been tested and approved by the Indian Air Force. The Brazilian Air Force has also used ethanol in their fighter jets. One more area where we are need to work to shift the construction equipment vehicle and diesel generators to alternate fuels such as ethanol and electric. The LNG is as a fuel for long run trucks and buses is economically viable. The cost of conversion to LNG compatible engine is rupees 10 lakh, which can be recovered within 295 days with a mileage of 5 km per kg. Waste to wealth and waste to energy is the sustainable solution to tackle environmental issues. We have converted 400 city buses in Nagpur to run on bio-CNG generated from municipal waste, and we have developed a technology to generate electric from sewage wastewater by which Nagpur municipal is getting a royalty of rupees 325 crore from the state electricity board. I am happy to mention here that my constituency Nagpur is the first city in India where almost all biofuels are commercially tested and adopted in the transport system. Today the city has witnessed 100% ethanol buses, bio-CNG, LCNG, LNG, biodiesel run vehicles and autos on LPG. We are committed to making India a self-reliant country in clean energy production and mass application. Our government is committed to all-inclusive development. A collective effort of all stakeholders would bring remarkable improvement in climate resilient development in the country. The organization, Sustainability Foundation, and all experts here on contribute in achieving the milestones set out at the COP26 platform. Though the Indian market is huge, the consumers in India are highly cost conscious. Their choice is mostly dependent on affordability, reliability, and accessibility of the product over the life cycle, which is why economic viability is more important than technical feasibility. With these few words, I once again thank the Sustainable Foundation for inviting me and providing an opportunity to share my perspective, and I wish you all the best for all of you. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Happy Diwali.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Questions which audience have asked. One question is regarding the charging stations. So there are very few charging stations at the moment in India, and what as compared to petrol pumps. And as we are moving towards electric mobility, we need to also improve upon the charging infrastructure. So would you please like to comment, sir, on what are the plans for charging infrastructure?
Actually, in National Highway now, this is the process has already started, that we are making 350 roadside amenities, petrol pump and other thing, where we are planning to make the availability for land for charging stations. In many market area, municipal parking places, in the malls, already there, the charging system are already there. And one of the important interesting thing that in Indian market, The bikes, scooters, bicycles, the cars, and four-wheelers, and even buses also, they have their own charger. At night, at the depot or the house, they can charge the vehicle. And presently the range is started, it coming to 300 kilometer, 400 kilometer, and some of the vehicle there is a range of 450 kilometer. So they can charge their vehicle, their bus, their auto rickshaw in their house also. That is also available. But we are in the process to making up lot of charging station everywhere on the roads and amenities in near the petrol pump. And government has already framed the policy where the petrol pump can start their charging stations, and already it is in the process. In due course of time, within 2 years, there will be availability of a lot of charging station in the country, and it will not be a big problem for electric vehicles.
Thank you, sir. And another question is, India is a very cost sensitive market, and electrical vehicle costs sometimes initial costs are very, very high. So do you think that there can be some policy framework brought in order to reduce the initial cost so that it becomes attractive to Indian population?
Already GST is only 5% on the electric vehicle. As compared with petroleum vehicle, it is coming to 48%. The other important thing is already the government is giving space subsidy for e-vehicles. It is already there. And now day by day, every day, the cost is now in the process of every company is going to reduce their cost. And every time the cost of lithium battery is now availability of all the parts in the components in the India. Also the cost of lithium and battery is also going to reduce. And for the reason that every day, if you can see the cost from before 6 months, the cost was very high. Now it is reduced. So I am confident within 1 year or maximum up to 2 years, the cost of petrol vehicle and e-vehicle will be same. And the cost of fuel compared with the petrol and electric, there is a huge margin is there. So 100% people will give their priority for e-vehicles. In my own city in Nagpur, I am using electric vehicle, electric SUV I have. And a lot of people are now using e-vehicles. E-bikes are also popular in the market. E-auto rickshaw are there, e-bikes are there. Then e-auto rickshaw, e-rickshaw is very popular in India. Out of 1 crore people, they were pulling mechanized driven, they are pulling their rickshaw by their legs, and it's very unfortunate and bad for Indian society. Now they are pulling to be mechanized driven e-rickshaw, and that is to be one of the successful experiment in the rural and every part of India, that people are using e-cart and e-rickshaw, mechanized driven e-rickshaw. So the changes are already going on. And in due course of time, 100%, there is a great change in Indian scenario. So 100%, there is a huge market for that. And every day, the cost is reducing. And I'm confident that as early as possible, it will come to equal to petrol vehicles. And government is supporting e-vehicles by all ways.
Thank you, sir. And another question, if you would like to take on, is like there is a dependence on lithium batteries, and lithium we have to import. So are we also is India also thinking about alternative battery manufacturing technologies?
Already we have a lot of people are doing on zinc ion, aluminum ion, lot of chemistry they are developing. The Indian startup and Indian Research Institute like DRDO, ISRO, already the research is going on, and I'm confident that we will get the solution. But as far as now the lithium ion battery, 81% of the batteries we are manufacturing in India. It is with indigenous material. And now lithium is also not problem. Even from this scrapping policy, we will get that magnet, and from that we can get lithium from that. So there are a lot of sources, and lithium is available. Lot of Indian companies, they have some mining area of lithium to abroad. There is no shortage for lithium, and the cost of the lithium is every day is reducing. I feel that it is not a big problem. We will get the lithium available. But meanwhile, our research which is going on, the other chemistry, battery chemistry, 100% we will get the breakthrough, and we will get the good solution from that. We are also working on green hydrogen, and I am confident that we will get the solution alternative on green hydrogen also. The electrolyzer, lot of people in Bangalore, Karnataka, They are manufacturing electrolyzer. And just I was telling to you that using of sewage water or seawater, by using solar energy and using electrolyzer, we can make green hydrogen and we can reduce the cost of green hydrogen. Our dream is to make India as the exporter of green hydrogen to the world. We want to use this green hydrogen in steel industry, chemical industry, even everywhere in industry in place of thermal coal. We are now keenly interested to use this green hydrogen in that. Also in the railway also, we are planning to doing a lot of experiments. I am confident that in due course of time, we will be successful in it, and we will encourage all this new initiative and research in India.
One final question, sir. What are your expectations from the Western countries such as United States or Western European countries as far as cooperation with India on climate change agreements, and how the organizations, NGOs such as Sustainability Foundation can contribute to the policy frameworks and the cooperation between the West and India?
Actually, when I was MSME minister, I was always telling to the MSME people that upgradation of technology is very important. The innovation, entrepreneurship, science, technology, research, skilled and successful practices, we name it as a knowledge, and conversion of knowledge into wealth is the future. So in Indian scenario, there are a lot of startup research organization, IITs, ISROs, DRDO, they are doing a lot of research. But my suggestion is, if you have any new innovative initiative in having some extraordinary research, then you can make the collaboration with Indian company also for green hydrogen, or even for automobile industry. Presently, our size is 7.5 lakh crores of our automobile industry size, out of which 3.5 lakh crore is export. But my dream is to make this industry within 5 years of 15 lakh crores. All international brands are present in India. Mercedes, BMW, all are here. Hyundai, Toyota, all are here. The idea is India is going to export automobile to the world from India, the e-vehicles. The two-wheeler manufacturers like Bajaj, TVS and Hero, they are exporting their 50% of two-wheeler production to the whole world. So this is the capability of Indian industry have. My suggestion to all of you, now we don't have that solar cell manufacturing we need in India, because we are moving towards it very fastly. But we have a dependable on lot of things regarding solar cells on the China and other countries. But if you have a good solution and investment, you can come to India for that. Even for a lot of new automobile industry, energy, green hydrogen, even electric, if you have new technology, new innovation, new research in it, you can make joint venture, you can make even technology joint venture to the concerning good industries also, and it can be a win-win situation for both. So my suggestion is, your knowledge transformation to India is very important, because India is the fastest growing economy in the world now. And now people are preferring India as compared with other country for their import. So my suggestion is, India has got the young, talented engineering manpower, highest in the world, to India. We have got all facilities available. We are quality conscious and our raw material is available. India is the important destination where if you can invest in India, it can be a great achievement for all of you. Even as far as returns are concerned, in dollar, the interest cost is 1%, 2%. But in Indian economy, the rupees interest cost is 6%, 7%, 8%, 9%. So invest in India, you will get good profit. So my suggestion is, even you can invest in Indian MSME, Indian industry, by our stock exchange, and you just check the things. The way in which the value of the share, particularly of Indian industry, is increasing, because a lot of people from abroad, from Canada, USA, Dubai, Doha, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, all are keenly interested to invest in Indian industry. So this can be technology transformation, and at the same time joint venture with the technology with the Indian industry, and also with the capital investment also. It's a golden opportunity, because India is the fastest growing economy. You are all welcome in India. Definitely there are huge potential where 100% you will be benefited from that. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
With that, we would like to thank Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari for spending time with us and during this important week of Climate Change Summit. In the Climate Change Summit, as we all know, one of the important theme was accelerating towards electrical vehicles, and we are very thankful to Honorable Nitin Gadkari ji for guiding all of us and for letting all of us in the West know about India's policies. We also would like to thank all the dignitaries who have joined today. So thank you very much, sir, from on behalf of Sustainability Foundation.
Namaste and thank you, Nitin ji.